What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and in this video we're going to talk about pranks in prison. I know it sounds crazy to think about. You're probably thinking, Joe, what do you mean pranks in prison? Isn't prison supposed to be a place that's filled with violence and so unforgiving? And you're absolutely right. But it's also a place that's filled with absolute immaturity. So much, in fact, and absolutely evident when you look at some of these guys who are like in their 60s, who have been locked up their entire lives and still act like they're 16 years old. I mean, you really haven't experienced life until you see an old head in prison walking around with his pants sagging like, "Hey, young blood, young blood, hey, who got niggas behind you in the shower, young blood? Hey, young blood, who got niggas behind you in the shower, young blood? Man, y'all young boys, y'all got the game messed up. Y'all got the game messed up. Y'all young boys think y'all gonna run this prison." I lie to you not, there's old heads in prison who act exactly like that. So it's all of this that I mentioned that I hope makes it a little bit easier to understand how pranks could actually be a thing that takes place while locked up. And in some cases, these prison pranks could be referred to as bidding off of someone. A prison term meaning something used to pass the time, and usually something at the expense of another prisoner, making fun of or making the fool of that other person. And as you might imagine, prison pranks can oftentimes lead to fights. One guy will get in his feelings, they'll begin to run their soup coolers, meaning their mouths. Cool down, soup, cool down. They'll both begin running their soup coolers, and then the next thing you know, they're both throwing those beaters. Bung, 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 bung! You know, I really like the fact that we're able to incorporate some prison terms with this video as well. But you know, this might come as a surprise. As much as you might think that fights will take place behind prison pranks while locked up, in a lot of cases, no fights ever transpire from one guy making fun of and pulling some sort of a prank on another guy. And the reason for that is because a lot of times the guys who are doing these prison pranks are your alpha males, your bigger, stronger, tougher, bullier prisoners that nobody, and I mean nobody, not even old Joe, even though old Joe, he ain't really want no problems with anybody, but that nobody would really want to have any type of problems with. Hey, who took my towel? I was in the shower. Oh. Oh, Mr. T, you're good Lord. Have you been working out today, Mr.? You are so massive. You took my towel? Could I please have it? It's cold. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. That's happened to me before. So it's worth mentioning all of that what follows are actual pranks that I've seen pulled on other prisoners. Some of them I even fell for myself when I first got locked up. I'm not gonna say any more of which ones I actually fell for, but I can most certainly tell you these are prison pranks that I've seen happen. So this first prison prank that I want to tell you about, I was actually reminded of this one by an awesome supporter of After Prison Show by the name of Justin Brooks. This is actually the second time this week that I'm mentioning this guy's name, and it's quite apparent this guy served some time as well. But he reminded me of this crazy prank that I saw happen many a times, and this would only happen to new guys coming into the jail who had never served any time before. Guys who were as green as the grass outside. And what this prank was you would have these new guys who were trying to fit in, act like they had been here before, a lot of them trying to act a lot tougher than they really were, and then that usually doesn't end too well. My first time, I've been here before, this ain't my first But you would see these new guys trying to fit in, trying to find their lane. Stay in your lane, young blood. You need to stay over here to the right because we over here on the left in that HOV lane. Young blood, you better stay in your lane. But you would have these new prisoners, these guys who knew absolutely nothing about jail. And in a lot of cases, it would be older prisoners who were able to pull off this prank. I tried to do it myself, but every time I tried to do it, I was giggling like a little schoolgirl. I was like, yeah, go do that. Oh my God, go do it. I could never hold it together long enough to pull this off. But you would have these older prisoners who would tell these newbies, hey, did you know you could write a request form and ask for a pool pass? A pool pass? What you mean a pool pass? We in jail, we ain't getting no pool pass. They got a pool in here for real. Yes. All you got to do is just write the request form, say, I want to request that I be given a pool pass. And then you take that request form and go give it to the guard. What I'm doing in here? I'm trying to go to the pool. We got a pool in here for real. Calm down, calm down. This happens to all the guys. Everybody who finds out that there's a pool in the jail, they get all excited. They want to take all their clothes off real quick. Just calm down. You're going to get your chance to go to the pool. You wrote that request form, right? You put that you want your pool pass, right? But you're not going to be able to go dressed like that. You got to put on your bathing suit first. I ain't got no bathing suit. Man, we in jail. Where am I gonna get a bathing suit from? Well, they sell them on commissary, but if you don't have a bathing suit, you can use a pair of gym shorts. And if you don't have a pair of gym shorts, you can just go in your boxer. But you need to be ready to go when you give the guard the request form, because he's gonna give you that pool pass right there. So if you ain't got no bathing suit or no gym shorts, just go ahead and get in your boxers and then go hand that guard that request form. He's gonna give you that pass. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, right, Joe, who in their right mind is gonna fall for this? But you gotta understand where we're at. We're in jail. We're not exactly in Harvard or Yale, and we're certainly not around too many really bright guys. Don't get me wrong, there are smart guys locked up, but most guys getting locked up for the very first time, myself included, when I got locked up my very first time, I wasn't too smart. And with that, I can't possibly tell you how many guys I watched walk up to guards like, excuse me, guard, I wrote a request form right here. I wrote that I'd like to receive a pool pass. I don't have a bathing suit. I've just got my boxers. Could I get my pool pass? And if you're wondering if this ever happened to me or if I ever fell for anything like this, the answer to that is this next prison prank that I want to tell you about. It's kind of similar to the pool pass prank. I mean, it's the same philosophy. You've got these newbies in jail and these old heads would tell them, hey, you know they have an ice cream day here, right? Yeah, they got an ice cream day. Ice cream sandwiches too. And these newbies, they would fall for ice cream sandwich day just like they would fall for those pool passes. They would be like, we gonna get some ice cream in here? What we gotta do to get some ice cream? I ain't had ice cream in like 2 weeks, man. Who I gotta tell on to get some ice cream? Calm down, young blood, calm down. You ain't gotta tell on nobody. Good Lord, what you in here for? All you gotta do is write a request form to the guard saying that you want to receive your ice cream sandwich. Give him that request form and he's gonna go get you an ice cream sandwich. Why you say who you gotta tell on to get some ice cream? Man, I'm trying to, good Lord, man, go write that request form. And again, just like the pool pass, these newbies would be running with that request form to those guards. Hey, guard, I wrote my request form. Can you go get me an ice cream sandwich, please? What you mean we ain't getting no ice cream? The guys told me all I gotta do is write a request form and give it to you and I get no? Why are you pulling out that tape? Okay, I believe you. There's no ice cream. God, I wanted some ice cream so bad I had to told on somebody for some. You know, all pranks aside, guys will do some pretty crazy things while locked up to get their hands on anything. Moving on to a more crazy and sinister prank that I actually saw happen. This was probably one of the craziest pranks I ever saw pulled on any prisoner ever while I was locked up. This happened when I was younger. I was probably like 18 to 20. I can't remember exactly how old I was. I was in the jail, and while I was in the jail and I was young, I used to associate with a bunch of young idiots, just like old Joe used to be. But one of these guys that I used to associate with, this guy wanted to join a gang. He wanted to do this while he was locked up. And it just so happened that one of my buddies, he was an actual gang member. So what ended up happening was we told my gang member buddy, hey, this idiot over here, he wants to join a gang. I know he can't join your gang because he's a white dude and you guys don't have white guys in your gang. But wouldn't it be, I mean, just hear me out. Wouldn't it be so crazy if you took this guy into the cell and pulled like some crazy gang initiation on this guy? And for whatever reason, my gang member buddy agreed to go along with this, ended up taking this guy into the cell with him after we had told him, hey, guess what, man? Guess what? My buddy over here, he's gonna let you join his gang. Your dream of becoming a gang member while locked up, it's about to come true. This is like make a wish while locked up. And the craziest damn thing was how excited this guy was about this. I mean, thinking back on this now, this guy was so excited about joining a gang while locked up. If I was myself now looking at this situation, I would be looking at this like, this guy, he stands zero chance out there in the free world. You know, you would think that when getting locked up, you might want to make some changes to do better in life. This guy, though, decided instead of turning right, he was going to turn left and go right down the road to hell. But what ended up happening was this gang member dude took this guy inside of the cell. There were these big windows so we could all look through these windows watching this take place. And again, this was one of those times where I was seeing something happen or trying to be a part of a prank, and I couldn't keep it together at all. I'm giggling like a little schoolgirl. Look at him, he thinks he's joining the Bloods. Yeah, Joe was really never any good at these pranks. But the guy sat down in the cell in this little plastic chair right there in the center of the cell, and this high-ranking gang member dude, this guy was huge, this guy was pretty intimidating looking. Though I knew this guy and I was cool with him, if you didn't know this guy at all, you'd be like, oh, I don't want no problems with this guy. But again, for whatever reason, he agreed to do this, and once he got this little white dude inside of the cell, he had him sit right there in that little plastic chair while he began to scream at this dude, talking about, you wanna join the gang? You wanna be a gang member? What you wanna be a gang member for? You ain't tough! And this little guy's just sitting there taking this, like, probably damn near peeing on himself. I'll be tough for you, boss. I'll be tough. But what this so-called gang initiation would actually entail was this guy had to shave both of his eyebrows and also eat a half a bar of soap. And as messed up as all of that sounds, like, damn, you would make a guy do that while locked up? He did it. I mean, that's how bad this guy wanted to join this gang. And the crazy thing about it was, is after he did this guy was running around thinking he was a gang member. We had to tell this guy, hey, listen, man, don't be going around telling anybody you're in this gang, because you're really not. It was just a prank. This guy, he ain't gonna let you get in his gang. And again, though as mean and as bad as all of this sounds, like, Joe, why would you do something like that to this guy? I mean, almost think of this like, this could have been potentially like a beyond scared straight moment for this kid. I mean, if he was willing to do all of this and make himself look like an absolute fool, well, damn, kid, you had some major problems. And you know, I kind of feel a little bad about it too. I want to tell you about one last prison prank real quick. Hell, I could probably list about 1,000,000 of these. We could even turn this into a series if this is something that you enjoy. But this last one deals with a birthday or getting transferred or going home. And in fact, if I can remember correctly, I think this applied to like all three of those things. But anytime it would be somebody's birthday in prison, or they were transferring to another prison, or they were getting ready to get released, they had to do what was called walk the line. And this was crazy. This would be like all of your prison buddies and guys that you probably didn't even know or like. These guys would come and basically jump you. And they're not like trying to beat you up for real, but they're putting some major body blows on you. It's like haymakers straight to the ribs. You think you're going home? Happy birthday! Now, of course, anytime this would take place, prisoners would always try to fight back. But you're just not gonna win when it's like 1 against 10. But you're just not gonna win when it's 1 against 10. Cody, the auto-tune! So with that, there was an alternative, a way that you could kind of tap out. And that was, you had to agree to walk the line. And what that meant was, is you had to go back into the shower area fully closed and hit all of those buttons in the shower. There might be like 5 or 6 shower heads in there. Hit all of those buttons and then walk underneath every single one of those shower heads, knowing that once you hit that shower button, it's gonna be some damn cold water coming out of there until that water heats up. So you have to walk fully clothed down the shower line and then come out of there completely soaking wet. And that was either your birthday present, your getting transferred or getting released, send off and farewell. Sort of like a little thing saying, hey look, don't you never come back here, because if you do, you're gonna be walking the line many more times. Oh, and by the way, just to throw this in here as well, that whole walking the line thing, how that begins with all of these prisoners basically coming up and jumping you, and they're always gonna catch you off guard when you're least expecting it, right when you're thinking that it's probably not gonna happen. Maybe they don't know today's my birthday. Maybe they don't know I'm going home tomorrow. They know. And a lot of times when this prank is pulled on prisoners, I've seen this many a time lead to some fights back there in that shower area. While that guy's under there walking that line, he's trying to drag another prisoner back there with him. One of them guys who had just jumped him like, come here, motherfucker, wanna try to jump me on my birthday? Craziest thing about it is, not all prison pranks end in prison fights. But you gotta imagine, because it is what it is, being locked up behind some razor wires, some gun towers, and some concrete block walls, there's gonna be some prison pranks that result in some fights. Hey look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment and let me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, nor ever get locked up to have to be the butt of a joke or the Junies. And make the most of every day. Peace! Hey, who took my towel? I was in the shower. Oh, oh, Mr. T, you're good. Lord, have you been working out today, Mr.? You are so massive. You took my towel? Could I please have it? It's cold.